Hello, Assalamualaikum. We were learning the anatomy of thoracic wall, and today we will see the intercostal arteries and intercostal veins. As I said earlier that there are 11 intercostal spaces. So there will be 11 pairs of intercostal arteries and veins. First discuss the arteries of intercostal spaces. Every intercostal space has one posterior intercostal artery. This is posterior intercostal artery and two anterior intercostal arteries. These are short, small anterior intercostal arteries. These anterior intercostal arteries are so small that they irrigate only 10% of intercostal spaces, and rest of the 90% of the space is supplied by posterior intercostal artery. First take a look at where from these interior intercostal arteries arise. These interior intercostal arteries are the branches of internal thoracic artery. This is the internal thoracic artery. First six anterior intercostal arteries are branches of internal thoracic artery, which arises from first part of subclavian artery. This is arch of aorta. Arch of aorta on the right side gives brachiocephalic artery, that gives the subclavian artery and common carotid artery, and on the left side common carotid artery and subclavian artery arise from the arch of aorta itself. Means on the right side brachiocephalic artery is giving the subclavian artery and common carotid artery, and on the left side arch of aorta itself is giving the subclavian artery and common carotid artery. So this internal thoracic artery is branch of first part of subclavian artery. So this internal thoracic artery gives anterior costal arteries for upper six spaces, and the anterior intercostal arteries for lower six spaces are given by musculopharynx artery. As you can see, this is musculopharynx artery, and it is one of the two terminal branches of internal thoracic artery, and it gives the anterior intercostal arteries for lower six spaces. Okay, this was all about interior intercostal arteries, and they are so small. And let's jump to the posterior intercostal arteries. First two superior intercostal arteries are branches of superior intercostal artery, or it is also called supreme intercostal artery. The superior intercostal artery is the branch of subclavian artery. You saw anterior intercostal arteries for upper six spaces were given by the internal thoracic artery, which is this. This is also the branch of subclavian artery, and subclavian artery is giving another branch, superior intercostal branch or supreme intercostal branch, that is giving the posterior intercostal arteries for upper two spaces. And the posterior intercostal arteries for lower spaces are given by the descending aorta. Let me show you. Descending aorta giving the posterior intercostal branches. Okay. Now, because the descending aorta descends from left side, so naturally the left posterior intercostal artery is smaller than the right intercostal artery. Right posterior intercostal artery. As posterior intercostal artery exits, it gives two rami, anterior ramus and posterior ramus. And anterior ramus run all over the intercostal space. It gives off one collateral branch, and both of the branches come and anastomose with the anterior intercostal arteries. These are muscular branches. These are muscular branches, and these are little cutaneous branches which supply the skin. So this dorsal ramus supplies the muscles of the back and spine, and this anterior rami supply parietal pleura, skin, anterior lateral abdominal wall. And here is how the neurovascular bundle is arranged in the intercostal space. The intercostal artery is bounded by the intercostal vein above and intercostal nerve below. So it is sandwiched in the intercostal vein and intercostal nerve. This was all for today. We will learn internal thoracic artery in coming lecture. Till then, Khuda Hafiz.